Hello everyone and welcome to Flickering Myth. My name is EJ Marino and we're diving in to a movie review. There's a brand new Disney animated film on the block and we're talking about Raya and the Last Dragon. Walking into this new film from Disney Animated Studios, I had a lot of questions. One was kind of bubbling up. In the last couple months, I've been looking at some Disney and Pixar films, realizing that I think I like the Disney animated films way more than the recent Pixar movies. I know that's kind of shocking for some people, and I want to know if that's a hot take. How do you feel about that down in the comments below? Because I lean more to the Disney animated side. I like the new Frozen film. I thought this movie was very good, and just looking at them, I'm like, oh my goodness, I don't think I've liked a Pixar movie since Coco. So going into this one, I was just like, okay, how am I going to feel? Am I going to continue on this roll? And I just told you, I really liked this film. I went in not knowing much about it. I have only seen the teaser trailer, which was a perfect teaser trailer. I did watch the full-blown trailer after this, and I thought that was a little too spoiler-filled, but what was presented here, I was like, okay, this could be interesting. The final product is this crazy action-filled adventure that I was not expecting. Disney films are usually adventure movies. You go to Moana, you go to Lion King, there's an adventure quality to it. But this had a straight up like Mad Max Fury Road vibe. It was a little Kill Bill. There's some Tomb Raider. There's a lot of inspirations, a lot of things that make this film so special. And I'm just really blown away by Raya and the Last Dragon. Raya is a young warrior princess who's on a mission to kind of complete these MacGuffins, if you will, to kind of just be straight up. There's these kind of pieces of a gem that will come together and help defeat these evil smoke monsters that turn people into stone. During her mission, she runs into what is basically the Last Dragon, who is this adorable dragon, who is this kind of water dragon who's not too good at being this kind of godlike creature, but decides, let me go on this adventure and just see what I can do. And as they kind of team up to build this big crystal thing to save this world, it is a fun romp. I was invested. We had these like rival tribes that we had to go to and like run into them and maybe go to their kingdom, see what was going on over here. We had to fight these big bad people at the Fang like dynasty kind of thing. It was just a lot of like little subsections that we would go to them. We would venture through. We were going through this desert, barren wasteland to go end up in these woods places, and then we were in this like beautiful city. We had this like adventure, this kind of adventure log, if you will, where we were going to these different places, where we were checking off these locations. We were allowing these animators to have fun with their visuals. I was again blown away by little things like the visuals, like the story. I don't love the voice acting, and we'll talk about that in a little bit. Not that it's like horrible, I just wasn't in love with it, but looking at the story of Raya and what she's going through in her adventure and trying to earn the trust or gain the trust of other people. It's really cool. Trust is a big theme throughout this movie, and I thought that was very powerful, very a new theme. Every Disney movie, every Pixar movie has its like gimmick, its message is trying to get across. Trust was the big one here, and I thought that played a big part. Raya, she has to like learn to trust people along the way. This dragon has to learn to trust herself. Trusting yourself is a big story. Trusting people who have maybe done you wrong in the past, but are trying to maybe change it. That's a big message here. I love the message. I love the story. I love the adventure side. There's a lot to enjoy in this film. I like I said, I walked in with, okay, what are we getting into? And walked away saying this is one of the strongest Disney films in quite some time.
The captain, where is the captain?
Let me go get him. What's up, my new customers? I'm Captain Boone, the owner, chef.
Like I mentioned earlier, I wasn't too in love with the voice acting. No one is doing bad here. Awkwafina as Ciso is probably my least favorite. I thought her voice acting was a little bit distracting. She just has such a distinct character in her voice that I wasn't able to kind of just put away what I know of Awkwafina and get into the character. Unlike Kelly Marie Tran, who was great as Raya, and I thought she was fun. You know, she was a fine role in Alfred. I just don't really love the dialogue a lot of these characters had. It was a little cliched adventure stuff, and it was kind of not my favorite. None of them did, again, bad. Daniel Day Kim, it was like, oh, I do think Isaac Wang is really, really good. I think he was the standout of the main cast. He is kind of the newest one. He didn't have like a Wikipedia page. He was playing a younger character. I was really into him, and I'm not taking away from like Gemma Chan and some of the other actors in here. I thought everyone did what they needed to do. I just don't think it went above and beyond. There's not a performance here that I'm like, that is the performance. This isn't Jeremy Irons' Scar, or even like Anna and Elsa. I think are distinct voices that feel like they fit. None of these characters were really, to me, the characters. You could have added new actors into it and not have really ruined the film, but I'm happy to see Kelly Marie Tran get a new job. I'm happy to see Awkwafina here, Gemma Chan there. Everyone's here is doing what they need. I just wish the dialogue and I just wish the delivery was a little bit more oomph to match the visuals and the story of this powerful film. On Twitter, I jokingly called this the best Tomb Raider movie we would ever get, and that's where I was really in love with it. If this had a little bit more of the archaeological adventures and just diving into these like tombs to get these pieces of this gemstone, it would have been even better. There's a little bit of that in there. And then, I'm happy to say I like the fight scenes that are like the hand-to-hand fights are really cool. There's less of the big battles that they're doing, and it's more two people fights, and that's really, really cool. It works really, really well here. I just wish there was a tad bit more of the Tomb Raider, Indiana Jones, the Mummy. I wish there was a little bit more of that type of adventure vibe, and it could have just made this even better. But I do like the revenge side. I do like how it's split up into chapters, how we're going to the different worlds. This movie is set up really well. It just has those little things that I'm like, oh, I could see this being a 10 out of 10 if I just like the voice acting a little bit more, and if you would have added in a little bit more puzzles into these caves, oh, you would have had me hooked on this forever. All right, everyone, that is it for my review of Raya and the Last Dragon. I had a blast watching this film, and I really enjoyed talking about it with you all today. It's a solid film. When it comes out on Disney Plus, I would definitely advise you guys check it out. It's having that premiere access stuff. If you don't feel comfortable with that, I can definitely say wait on this and watch it when you feel comfortable, when you have the money. If you can see it in the cinemas, go out and do it. This is worth the viewing. And if you know me, I don't really often love Disney movies, but when they're like this, when they're powerful and emotional and not too overwrought with the melodrama, it is just a good time, and this is that. All right, everyone, let me know what you think down in the comments below. Subscribe to my channel if you do enjoy our work here on Flickering Myth, and make sure you guys give us a thumbs up if you did enjoy this. All right, everyone, let me know what you think down in the comments below.